Hi, this is Paul. I wanted to make a video. I wanted to wait before I made this video about the shooting in Texas, another school shooting in Texas, and 19 kids, 19 little kids, and 2 adult teachers died because of another mass shooter and easy access to guns. Okay, and I don't care. Like I said, this again, I've said this before in other videos, but I cannot stand politicians. They're so disingenuous with the whole thing, and just the thought of those little kids, 19 little kids, getting slaughtered by an 18-year-old who had easy access when he turned 18 to buy 2 AR-15s. In what sane world can an 18-year-old who can't even drive or can't even drink legally, I think in Texas, can buy 2 AR-15s, okay, and come into a school and shoot little kids, okay? And like I said before in other things, there's always been crazy people, but crazy people have never had more access than they do, especially in Texas, to guns, to weapons of war. And this dumb ass governor of Texas, Governor Abbott, passed a law, I think it was last year, that made it even easier to get guns without having licenses. He's insane. These politicians are oh my God, they make you mad and make you want to do unforgivable things to them because they're just horrible. Okay, and Beto O'Rourke, we know he's running against Governor Abbott, but I think he was right in going to that press conference. And of course, they tried to shout him down and escorted him out when he wanted to tell him, "You're not doing nothing. You're not," and he's not doing nothing. You made it easier for people to kill people. Okay, there's no reason in the world why they should be weapons of war on the streets. I don't give a crap about the Second Amendment or not. It should not be that easy access to get those type of weapons. Okay, those weapons should be reserved for the armed forces. Okay, not for civilians. I don't give a crap what kind of collector you are. Okay, it should not be that easy to get these guns. And these do-nothing senators, I mean, God help. And that's exactly why they should be term limits. Because these guys they're corrupt, lazy, and they don't want to do anything to curb it. Okay, there's been a bill, I think, sitting for 2 years that passed the House 2 years ago that's been sitting in the Senate because they won't even let them vote on it. Okay, that's just disgusting they are. It doesn't matter how many kids get slaughtered. These senators do nothing about it, and they're absolutely shameless. Okay, and they have no morals. Okay, all they care about is their power. That's completely it. Okay, and it really disgusts me to the point where I really, if I could live in another, they make me to the point where I want to live in another country because because the feeling of helplessness that you can't do anything about it because these bought and paid for corrupt senators don't do anything, okay, to help people. And 19 little kids had to die because these idiots will not do anything to curb and making it easier to have access to guns, no matter how many kids get slaughtered in schools and discos. It doesn't matter. This is like people have said, this is a unique problem to the United States because in no other country do they have so easy access to guns. It's absolutely heartbreaking and ridiculous at the same time that people have to go through this. Now there's going to be 21 funerals for these kids, and I felt so. And it just breaks my heart. And they start showing the pictures. I can't look at that. They show the pictures of the little kids, and you start hearing the stories, and it just breaks your heart. There was a story about what the guy that said I think one of the first responders who saw a little girl who was tending to a little girl that came out with blood on her, and he said his daughter called. He found out that his daughter was one of the people killed, and he said he got his 10-year-old daughter like a cell phone for her birthday, and she was trying to call 911 when she got killed. It just breaks your heart that these know-nothing politicians, these spineless coward, these greedy, corrupt senators, okay? And it's it's mostly because these Republicans, okay, that getting these contributions from the NRA, okay? And you also have some Democrats, conservative Democrats, that are the same way too, that will try to block everything, just absolutely shameless and corrupt. And bought and paid for. Now, there's supposed to be a convention, I think, on Friday, tomorrow, I think, in an NRA convention in Houston. And I think Donald Trump, well, of course Donald Trump's going to go to because his ego is out of control and he has just no conscience about anything. and just he's absolutely spineless, and just all he cares about is power too. He's another idiot that should have never been president either. But that's another story for another day. But my heart just breaks for these people, and I'm not even gonna say they should do something, because what's the point? It's like screaming into the wind that you want them to do something. And I think you get the government that you vote for. And if you let these senators corrupt, and if you're that simple-minded that you can't think for yourself and think, why is it not why are these preventive measures not being passed? Because my senator is corrupt. He's taking bribes, okay, to block stuff, and he won't vote on this stuff. You have to make them be accountable. Go to your senators and tell them, answer my question. Why did you not let this vote on this bill? Okay, what's the holdup? Why are you being so corrupt? Something that could help. How many more kids have to be killed before you get off your ass and do something? It's beyond shameless, and it literally breaks your heart. I remember I was at work. I think was it Monday or whatever it was, and I saw the alert that it was a shooting in Texas. And like I said, you become jaded to it because so many shootings, and by the time I got home, it was 14, and then I think the next day was like 18, and now it's 19 kids. And I know there's a bunch of other kids that got wounded and stuff. And I know the gunman shot his grandmother in the face. Just, again, an easy access. An 18-year-old can buy 2 AR-15s, okay? And another thing, which I guess will be discussed later, because when the cops do the review of this, because I think it was way too long before the cops went into the school. Okay, I think they said it was like 40 minutes before the cops actually went into the school, and by that time he slaughtered the kids and the 2 adult teachers. Okay, they're gonna have to answer why they didn't barge in there and stop this guy from killing all these kids, these innocent kids, and these 2 teachers. How come they didn't burst in the classroom sooner? It's just, and for all these people that say, oh, it takes a good guy with a gun to stop a bad guy with a gun. The Buffalo shooter, they had a retired cop in there, okay? And he fired on the guy, but the guy had body armor. The same thing with this guy. This guy had body armor on too, but fortunately he was able to kill him. And when they finally did go in, they was able to kill him and take him out. But the fact that this kid, 18-year-old kid, can buy all that ammunition and 2 2 AR-15s, it's an absolute disgrace. And those 2 senators, John Cornyn and Ted Cruz from Texas, again, and especially Governor Abbott, that blood is on your hands. I totally blame you for that, okay? Because you made it even easier for people to get guns. Are you insane? Okay, not everybody deserves to have guns, and these weapons of war should not be in civilian hands. That's just flat out that. And screw the Second Amendment, okay? You don't need an AR-15 to hunt a deer, okay? Trust me, you don't need these weapons to hunt deer and all that. So spare me the whining about the Second Amendment, about your freedom and taking the guns from your cold, dead hands. Oh, shut up, okay? Okay, trust me, there's room in prison for you too, okay? And think about it, all those years ago, before we had these weapons of war, right? There was no mass killings, okay? Nobody was going around with a knife trying to kill 21 people at the same time. But the fact that you have so easy an access to weapons in this country is the exact reason why you have more of these killings. And the fact that these senators, the people that we actually send to enact laws and protect us, won't do a damn thing about it, that they're corrupt and they're beholden to the gun lobby, it is just beyond shameless. It's just beyond cruel. And those people need to be held accountable for this. And the fact that you got a law that protects these morons from being held accountable for this, and that's another thing. You need to vote these people out of office, and you need to change that law. And you hold these gun manufacturers accountable for producing these weapons of war, okay? So these civilians should not be having these weapons of war. This is absolutely, and I'm beyond done with this, okay? And like I said, it just breaks your heart, the fact that these little kids, just, I try not to think about it too much, because it will literally break your heart to think of how frightened these little kids were, and this idiot was killing little kids. Why didn't he just shoot himself? You fucking coward. I just have no, I don't care if he was crazy or whatever. Let's be done with it. I'm just beyond sick. I'm tired. I'm just sick and tired of this. And the fact that you have these gutless politicians that won't do anything about They all need to be voted out of office, and people need to hold them accountable for that stuff. And like I said, you get the government that you pay for. Okay, if you don't get out and be responsible, okay, and you call your senators and stuff, you ask them why the hell are you not voting on? I want gun laws. You demand that of them. You say, oh, you vote them out. Stop being sheep and voting in idiots. Okay, they don't care about anything but themselves. Okay, and again, it should not. Being a politician should not be a career choice. Okay, there should be term limits. Okay, there should never be. Nobody should be in the Senate for like 50 years. That's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, these people are bought and corrupt and paid for, and that's why you have all this idiocy going on, because you have these people in there and they bought and paid for, and now, oh my God! And I just saw a clip here where some guy from, I guess a reporter from the UK, was asking Ted Cruz about how come this happens only in America, and Ted Cruz, of course, tried to dodge the question and try to turn it around on the guy. No, you answer the question, you coward. And he actually ran away. What a coward. Ted Cruz, what a coward. We already know he was a coward anyway, because he didn't say nothing when Donald Trump insulted his wife and insulted his father. We know he's corrupt and bought and paid for, and just another lackey. Okay, and Governor Abbott needs to, oh my God, they need to be, like I said, you vote this idiot in office, and he made it more easier for people to kill your kids. So you want to keep voting this idiot in, okay? Then have at it. I'm just beyond done with this, okay? And it just literally breaks your heart thinking about those kids being killed, slaughtered, okay? And it could have easily been prevented if you didn't let this idiot have the ability to buy 2 AR-15s, an 18-year-old, and tons of weapons. What would you think this 18-year-old is going to do with that? Okay, that's another thing. What genius that sold him these weapons would think, wait a minute, don't you ask yourself, what is an 18-year-old want with 2 AR-15s and tons of ammunition? Oh, you think he's going to go target practice? No, he's not going to do that. That's absolutely insane that he could just buy it and walk out. Okay, that is absolutely blows my mind how insane that is. Okay, just, I'm done. I'm just done. I'm just beyond sick of this, and I don't know how else we're going to solve this with these spineless politicians. And my only thought is you got to vote them out of office. You can't let them stay in office 50 years, 30 years, 20 years. Okay, politicians, they was never meant to be in office and make it a career choice. And back in the old days, politicians, they would go to Washington and they had other jobs. Okay, being a politician wasn't a 25, but now since the money is all there, it's all so much corruption and just bribes, and it's just beyond sick. And I'm done with these. Okay, and let's see how these spineless Republicans, what they're going to say now. Okay, again, because they think they're waiting for it to change the narrative. And I also want to see who actually goes to the NRA meeting. We know Trump, because he issued a statement saying he's still going to it because he's a spineless, heartless narcissist. That's why he's going. So I wonder if those other people are going to show up, because I heard 3 musicians that were supposed to perform there at this convention canceled. Okay, let's see if these other people have the guts to not show up at this thing. But we'll see what happens with that. And again, my heart goes out to the families of those, those kids and those 2 teachers out there and all the wounded people down there. My heart breaks for you, literally, and I just can't. And I can't even imagine how these kids are going to be traumatized. The kids that survived are going to be traumatized for the rest of their lives, and the parents and stuff. How they're going to live with that, losing a kid. I can't even. That has to be the worst pain ever, to lose a child. I'm just beyond done with this. Okay, and like I said, my only solution to this is you got to vote them out. You can't stop letting these do-nothing politicians that are corrupt and bought and paid for. You have to vote them out. Okay, you got to organize and get together and vote them out. You ask them. You're not going to vote on gun legislation. You're not going to be my senator anymore. Okay, I'm voting for somebody else that's going to do that, and vote them out. You have to do that. You got to stop being sheep and let's letting these guys be career politicians for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Okay, nobody should be in the Senate that long. Okay, they're primed and ripe for corruption. Okay, and I'm done with it. Anyway, let me know what you think, your feelings on the whole shooting in Texas and the whole gun debate and everything. I'm just beyond done with this. It just, again, my heart just literally breaks for these kids. Okay, and I don't know. Hopefully we can get to a better place. But when that happens, I don't know. And just it literally just breaks my heart. And I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below. Links to my social media in the description box, okay? And just check it out, okay? And take care. Be well and be safe out there, okay? And this is Paul saying so long, and take care.